là trong cái bối cảnh mà cô nghĩ đến cái ví dụ đó ạ?
Dạ. Thì ý cô muốn hỏi làm sao mình vừa nãy thì cũng đã giải thích, thì cô sẽ hỏi lại là giống như khi mình đối cảnh, mình đối tượng, mình thấy cảnh, thấy đối tượng, làm mình như thế nào để nhìn cái đối tượng đó đúng, hoặc là mình đối diện với một cái hoàn cảnh nào đó, mình nhận xét làm cái hoàn cảnh đó cho nó đúng sự thật, nó đúng thực tế. Mà thường chúng ta thì lúc nào cũng hay bị lầm tưởng, nghe cái câu này lại lầm tưởng qua câu khác, hay là thấy thái độ này của người lại lầm tưởng qua cái việc khác, khiến cho bản thân, cho tâm đôi khi khởi lên sân giận, hay là khởi lên tham muốn, hay là khởi lên vướng mắc, là do chúng ta lầm tưởng.
She mentioned about one simile found in the sutta, that a person one time come across a snake on the way, and it scares him. So the next time when he see just a rope, he mistake it for a snake. So the way he perceives it is wrong. So when she thinks that in our life, when she asks about yoniso manasikara, this thinking about how to perceive things in the true way, not in the wrong way, like in that simile. Do you grasp her idea? Yes. Okay.
Actually, the situation you've just described is not really concerned with development of understanding, because misperceiving an object, of course it's not kusala, but there's not necessarily anything terribly akusala about it either. Is it something that one needs to be concerned about? Seeing a rope and mistaking it for a snake, is that kind of misperception a problem in our life? I would not have thought so. There's a much more interesting reference to yoniso manasikara that we could discuss, and that is as one of the 4 factors for stream entry or for the development of understanding. Those 4 factors I think you would be familiar with. Oh, these ones here. And what does yoniso manasikara mean in that context? I would suggest that these 4 factors are being mentioned in conventional terms: association with the wise friend, hearing the true Dhamma, wise reflection, and practice in accordance with the Dhamma. So in the case of the 3rd factor, it refers to the useful reflection that is conditioned by having heard the Dhamma in the 2nd factor. And the Dhamma is heard from the wise friend in the 1st factor. So these 4 factors flow from one to the next. And each of them is a requisite for the development of understanding. And the 3rd factor refers to the reflection that occurs naturally from having heard the true Dhamma and having an interest in subject matter. So things that we've discussed today, you may find yourself thinking about after this event tomorrow, next week, whenever, as you go about your daily life. And so in that sense, it has a different meaning, again, because it's not any kusala citta, but it's in particular the kusala citta that reflects on Dhamma that has been heard, and which in turn then can condition understanding, direct understanding of the Dhamma. But in terms of how to have it, there isn't any answer. It cannot be had. How to have the wise friend? There's no answer. It is by conditions, by one's deeds done in the past that condition, or the interest in the Dhamma in the past conditions the association with the wise friend. How can one hear the true Dhamma? One cannot make it happen, also by conditions, depending on the time and circumstances. So the reflection likewise isn't something that is done, it is something that happens by conditions. And likewise, as we've said, the right understanding is the naturally occurring awareness and understanding that results from all those other three factors.
Thank you.
Kính thưa Ajahn và chú Chôn và cô Sarah, hiện thời thì ở Việt Nam và trên đất nước Sri Lanka thì mới thành lập cái tỳ khu ly, và ở trong luật thì tất cả những cái giới của tỳ khu ly thì vẫn còn, và các chư đại đức tăng thì cũng vẫn còn. Nhưng mà cái tỳ khu ni này thì không có chính thức được tất cả được các cái chư tăng truyền giới, và các ngài đã đọc trong kinh điển, và đến sau 500 năm thì tỳ khu ni không còn nữa. Nhưng bây giờ ở bên Nguyên Thủy đang có cái hệ phái có tỳ khu ni. Vậy thì khi mà tỳ khu ni được tu tập trở thành tỳ khu ni, thì bây giờ ở Việt Nam thì các Phật tử đảnh lễ những cái vị tỳ khu ni đó, và trong khi đó là đã không còn tỳ khu ni nữa. Vậy thì những cái người Phật tử đó, nếu mà là tỳ khu ni giả, không còn phải là tỳ khu, thì nếu mà đảnh lễ như vậy thì nó có đức tam quy hay không? Yeah.
So he said in Vietnam and in Sri Lanka, the order of bhikkhuni have been restored. On the other hand, we know that the order of bhikkhunis are not recognized in all countries, and many bhikkhus do not accept to do the ordination for new bhikkhunis. Although these newly ordained bhikkhunis follow or still have the rules for bhikkhunis to follow. So his question is, if the bhikkhunis are not truly bhikkhuni anymore, because it's already, the lineage is already broken, so if the lay followers, when they pay respect to the bhikkhunis, does that mean that their precepts will be broken? They're not precept broken, but like the taking of precepts is broken.
Và sư hỏi thêm là nếu cúng dường đảnh lễ như vậy nó có hợp pháp không? Yeah.
And is it something in accordance to the Vinaya for the lay follower to pay respect to those bhikkhunis?
What do you understand by taking the precepts? What is the reality of taking the precepts? We know what we all know what you mean, but what is the reality that
Thứ nhất là giới, tức là chúng ta hành xử và đúng theo những cái lời Đức Phật dạy, và cái thực tại của giữ giới chính là chánh niệm tỉnh giác và thu thúc các căn.
He said it's the sati and sampajana and the how they say that the guarding of the senses.
Yes, that is the moment of acting in accordance with a precept. For example, when the mosquito lands on the body and one thinks of killing it, but one refrains from that, that is following the precept at that moment. But there has to be a situation where there is the opportunity and the initial thought of breaking the precept in order for there to be a actual acting in a restraint in accordance with the precept. So we come back to the situation of a person or group of persons taking the precepts from a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. What is the reality of that situation? Because there's no actual likely breach of a precept at those moments. What is that reality?
Chú John hỏi sao nhỉ? Chú John hỏi là cái thực tại ở trong cái bối cảnh đó là gì, phải không?
Dạ, trong cái bối cảnh mà ví dụ như là một người Phật tử xin giới cho nơi các vị tỳ kheo hoặc là vị tỳ kheo ni, thì cái thực tại ở cái thời điểm đó là gì ạ?
Thì để người ta, để vì đó, vì lỡ phạm giới nên vì đó xin giới trở lại để tỏ cái lòng sám hối và ngăn ngừa. Yeah.
Tức là về mặt thực tại thì cái việc mà gọi là xin giới đó là gì ạ, theo sư ạ?
Thực tại của cái việc xin giới đó hả? Là cái người đó muốn tuân giữ và hành theo. Yeah.
Sikhapadang Veramani
is the giving of a precepts by monk to lay people found in the suttas.
Vị tỳ kheo truyền giới có được nói ở trong kinh không ạ? Thì nếu mà về phần tục đế đó thì vị tỳ kheo vẫn có thể đọc cái giới cho các cái cư sĩ về 5 giới hoặc là 8 giới.
Tức là trong kinh có đề cập đến việc các vị tỳ kheo truyền giới cho các Phật tử như vậy ạ?
Thì như ở Việt Nam của mình hay tất cả các nước thì vẫn thường xuyên là truyền giới cho 5 giới, nhưng mà trên nếu mà phương diện chân đế đó thì các sư chỉ cái giới, tức là những cái học giới, tức là các sư giảng dạy về cái học giới. Ví dụ như là cái sắc sanh thì nó có mấy chia như vậy. Còn về phần tục đế thì
con xin phép, tức là câu hỏi con chỉ muốn nhắc lại câu hỏi của bác John là ở trong kinh ấy ạ.
Yeah.
Vâng.
Trong kinh thì là chỉ nói về những cái giới nó có những cái chi phần gì thôi.
Yeah. No, in the sutta only mentioned about what are the factors of each kind of precepts.
Right. So I think the practice of people taking precepts from the monk is a practice that has developed since the time of the Buddha. And if we consider what are the reality of those moments, it's doubtful to me that there's even any kusala involved, because it's just a recitation of I will train in not taking life or something like that. So getting back to your original question, I don't see that it has any connection with the bhikkhuni ordination, because anyone could do that. Anyone could be involved in leading a group of people in taking the precepts. When it's done by a monk, nothing passes from the monk to the lay people. There's no bestowing of power or anything. So it has no real meaning other than a reminder to the individual what the precepts are, if they had forgotten what they are.
Tấm bạch hay hình như là nó chưa có đủ câu hỏi à? Phải không chị?
Dạ hoàn toàn đủ rồi đấy ạ.
Không, ý sư hỏi là ví dụ tỳ khu ni đó mà được bây giờ có tỳ khu ni đó mà.
Con xin phép nói lại điều mà bác Chôn vừa nói một lần nữa ạ. Tức là bác Chôn nói là bởi vì cái việc mà một người xin giới nơi vị tỳ kheo hoặc là vị tỳ kheo ni hoặc là vị tỳ kheo ni hoặc là vị vị sư truyền giới cho một người Phật tử, thì bản thân cái việc đó nó không phải là có một cái năng lực hay là có một cái giới nào đấy đã được từ của người xuất gia truyền cho người tại gia. Nó chỉ là một cái thủ tục mà ngày nay nó được trở thành một thói quen. Và ông cũng không chắc là khi mà nói một cái lời xin giới như vậy thì đã là thiện, bởi vì đôi khi ta chỉ đọc một cái câu đã thành cái công thức rồi, chứ chưa chắc đã là thiện pháp ở trong đó. Mà bởi vì nó không có một cái ý nghĩa đặc biệt như vậy thì ông cũng không thấy là cái việc giữa việc thọ giới tỳ kheo ni đó với cái việc là nó có bị đứt giới hay không, nó không có một cái mối liên quan nào cả. Ý là như vậy ạ.
Chị hiểu lầm là bây giờ thì tỳ khu ni là đã mất rồi phải không ạ? Nhưng mà bây giờ người ta phục hồi cái tỳ khu ni, tức là không có một vị chư tăng nào đứng ra để phục hồi cái tỳ khu ni đó cả. Và tỳ khu ni đó bây giờ tự họ dựng lên cái tỳ khu ni, và bây giờ không còn tỳ khu ni nữa mà tự nhận mình là tỳ khu ni. Như vậy thì những cái người Phật tử đảnh lễ và cúng dường cái vị tỳ khu ni đó, thì nếu như nó không phải là tỳ khu ni thì là ăn cắp cái tăng tướng. Và nếu mà như vậy thì cái người đó đảnh lễ những cái người vị tỳ khu ni đó và cúng dường những cái vị tỳ khu ni đó, nhưng mà nó thời bây giờ nó lại không phải là tỳ khu ni theo như đúng cái truyền thống như vậy thì nó ảnh hưởng gì cho Phật giáo và những cái người Phật tử đó, liệu là có cái chánh kiến hay không, có rồi là cái có đức cái tam quy như là trong kinh điển đã giảng dạy hay không. Nếu như mình đã quy y Phật, quy y Pháp, quy y Tăng mà mình đảnh lễ những cái không phải ngoài Tam Bảo ra thì nó đức cái tam quy, thì đó là những cái sư muốn chị hỏi.
I think he didn't grasp what you said, so he just repeated his question. So maybe you can find another way.
I think as lay people, we can follow as many of the rules in the Vinaya given for bhikkhus or bhikkhunis as we find suitable. For example, when eating the lunch, what about the rules for not slurping and being considerate and so on? So we can follow as many rules as we like. We don't have to announce it or tell the others. We can undertake not to harm, not to steal, and so on. And so many rules. Actually, for a bhikkhuni in the Buddha's time, more rules than for a bhikkhu. Extremely difficult to live this life. So as lay people, we follow as many as we like. And when it comes to paying respect, like for anyone, when paying respect to the Buddha, taking refuge in the Buddha, it is to the qualities of the Buddha that make it possible for us to study and listen to the teachings today, the great compassion, the great wisdom, and so on. So it depends on the understanding how much it's possible to pay respect to the Buddha, take refuge in the Buddha, to understand it's not a person, but certain qualities. And to the Dhamma, like we pay respect to each other here because we appreciate the understanding of the Dhamma and we respect those who have this sincere interest to listen and study and consider, no matter they're monks, nuns, or lay people. So it is the respect in the teachings, in the truth. And when paying respect to the Sangha, again, it depends on the citta of the person. It is the understanding in the great value of those who have shared the teachings from the Buddha's time onwards, the great wisdom of the disciples who passed on the teachings that made it possible for us to read them and listen to the Buddha's word today. So when paying respect to the Sangha, it doesn't have to be to an individual, but to the representatives of the Buddha's teachings, no matter who. So each one is responsible for their own citta, not the others. So we're not responsible for your cittas or their cittas or anyone's cittas. But what about the citta now? Is there paying respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha with kusala cittas, yoniso manasikara, or is it with misunderstanding and bad faith? Who knows? So it depends on the citta at this moment and how others live their life, whether how they call themselves, how they consider the life of a bhikkhuni is up to each one. We're not the gatekeepers, but as you say, the order was broken, so for us we accept the Buddha's word in this regard, but everyone has their own idea. But for me, what's more important is taking refuge in the Triple Gem and understanding the teachings and sharing with anyone who is interested, no matter the lifestyle, no matter how they are referred to. Would you like to add anything?
Just one word. What is sila? We talk about sila this way and that way, but in truth, what is it? We talk about sila, but what is sila?
Dạ, thưa A Chan, giới cũng chính là pháp mà là tâm sở. Giới thì nếu mà nói về chân tục đế thì những cái giới luật mà Đức Phật dạy, còn nói về chân đế thì nó cũng chỉ là các cái tâm sở như là những cái bất thiện giới và thiện giới. Yeah.
In conventional way, it's the precepts that the Buddha have given, but in ultimate realities, they are Dhamma and Cetasikas, and there are Kusala Sila and Akusala Sila.
In the Tipitaka, what about the word Kusala Dhamma, Akusala Dhamma, and Abhayagata Dhamma, and Kusala Sila, Akusala Sila, and Abhayagata Sila? In the Tipitaka, the word of the Buddha, talk about the ultimate truth of what is there, which is Sila. Can the Rupa behave wholesome way or unwholesome way? impossible. Rupa does not experience anything at all. It does not behave. But the citta and cetasikas experience the object. Different cittas, different cetasikas at different time. So what is the moment of kusala sila and akusala sila and abhayagata sila? If you don't study the teachings carefully, how can there be the understanding of kusala dhamma, akusala dhamma, abhayagata dhamma, different from kusala sila, akusala sila, and abhayagata sila? The difference is there.
So we have talked about kusala dhammas, and we've talked about akusala dhammas. Avyakata dhammas are all dhammas which are not kusala or akusala. So all rupas are avyakata dhammas. Seeing, hearing, ahetuka cittas and cetasikas are avyakata dhammas because they're not kusala or akusala. So any dhammas which are not kusala or akusala are avyakata dhammas, not kusala, not akusala. When it comes to sila, kusala sila, as you mentioned, refers to kusala cittas and cetasikas. Akusala sila, as you mentioned, refers to unwholesome akusala citta and cetasikas. What is avyakata sila? Avyakata sila is the sila of the arahat, because for the arahat no more kusala, so the kiriya cittas of the arahat are avyakata sila, nothing to do with rupas at all. So sila only refers to cittas and cetasikas, the behavior of citta and cetasikas, kusala and akusala, cittas and cetasikas, and in the case of the arahat, kiriya cittas. So when we talk about precepts or any of these terms referring to sila, it has to be referring to the cittas and cetasikas. So at this moment, there's no killing, there's no sealing, but is it kusala sila or akusala sila? We just assume it's kusala sila because no killing, no stealing. But what about the citta now with attachment or with boredom or with annoyance? Is it kusala sila or akusala sila? So sila is just for a moment and it's just now. If one follows the precepts, for example, if one eats very nicely and one doesn't eat after 12 o'clock, but it's with attachment, is it kusala sila? So whatever we read about, it's actually about a moment, life at this moment. Kusala sila, akusala sila, even now. This is another example of how subtle the teachings are.
So again, what is sila?
Dạ thưa Ajahn, thì giới thì cũng là các hành xử của tâm. Tức là giới là nếu mà nói về chân đế thì những cái khoảnh khắc của bất thiện thì là bất thiện giới, còn cái khoảnh khắc của thiện thì là thiện giới, là các cái thực tại.
So sila is the behavior of the mind So the moment of akusala is akusala sila, and moment of kusala is kusala sila.
So is there sila now?
Yes.
Sila is the behavior of citta. So is there sila now?
Yes, yes.
What kind of sila?
Có khoảnh khắc bất thiện và cũng có khoảnh khắc thiện, thưa Ajahn.
Some moments kusala and some moment akusala sila.
So at moment of kusala citta, it is kusala sila, the behavior. Because in life we talk, we do all the time something in a day, from moment to moment. At moment of such deeds, is it sila? Come back to understand the truth of this moment. That is the study of Dhamma. To really understand Dhamma. What is it? When is it? Is it not now? That's why when we read the book of the Vinaya, all depends on deeds and speech for monks. But it's not just for monks. Whatever is wholesome, manners, even that person is not monk, we can behave like that because understanding what is good and what is wholesome and what is nice and what is friendly and so on. That's why the behavior of citta at any time, because it has to be kusala or akusala. So the vipaka does not behave, right? Does the seeing behave now? Impossible. Only kusala citta offer this to this one, not seeing. But kusala citta is kusala sila. That's why in order to understand the truth, which is so very subtle, we have to understand just one word, clearer and clearer and clearer, to let go ignorance and wrong understanding as I am good, he is or she is not good. Is that moment good? See the behavior of citta. Is that good? He's not good. At that moment, who is not good? Citta behave unknowingly by conditions. That's why I learn to understand that monks, the Vinaya is not just for monk, but for monk, they has to do. They cannot break the rules. Only Buddha can lay the rule for monks because of his highly understanding, very, very precious understanding and behavior. So he knows even such manners can lead to more and more akusala. If there's no understanding of the behavior by way of Vinaya. For monk, can monk eat noisily? Just that, noisily. Chew loudly or whatever. That's not the way or the behavior of monk who sees the danger of all akusala citta each moment. So monk's life is different from lay's life, but the one who is not monk, read the Tipitaka, understanding how nice manners, speech and deeds that person can follow. So even the lay people can have kusala sila more and more at moment of speech and deeds. Sitting, see, different position. Can monks sit like lay people? If it's not nice, not good, shall lay people follow that too? Or just for monk? That's why the more understanding of Dhamma, the more understanding of its daily life, they are not self or anyone at all, but they are different moments of conditioned citta, kusala or akusala, not just at moment of abstaining from killing, stealing, so on, but even now, sit differently, different position. Monks can sit like lay people, or no? Is that the behavior of citta with understanding even what manners is for speech and deeds? And that moment, whether there is the understanding of Dhamma or no understanding of Dhamma, just follow the Vinaya or understand the precious of the way of speech and deeds conditioned by kusala. We can see different moments of speech, right? Harsh speech. Don't care or mind about the one who hears it. What kind of feeling is there hearing such harsh word? The behavior of citta with akusala condition that moment. That's why understand the danger of all kinds of akusala, no matter at moment of doing something or walking or helping or considering, all by citta, kusala sila, akusala sila. So now, what kind of sila?
Chú không muốn hỏi đúng không ạ?
Dạ.
À không.
Clear rồi.
Rồi.
Thế
Ai chuyển mic cho cô Hòa định hỏi đúng không ạ? Không ạ.
Dạ em hỏi cái nhân được không ạ? Không, bên đó không ạ.
Thôi em hỏi đi, vậy.
Dạ. Thì tiếp in addition to the Yoniso Manasikara, I would like to add another question that Ajahn sometimes mentioned about we only understand what appear now. So my question is about the nama, citta, sika or citta, to appear to the citta to experience. What kind of condition for that to be appear?
No one knows there is citta, right? Just I like it, I see, I hear. But seeing is not anyone. It's the reality which arises by conditions just to see. Not to do anything at all, not to hear, not to like. So is there any moment that citta shows up or appear to be known, or only that which is the object of seeing appear all day?
Object most of the time.
So how can citta appear to be known without any understanding, any attention, any wise considering the difference between that which is seen and the seeing right now? So learn to understand the truth. Why there's no understanding of the nature which sees as not I, not anyone, not cats or dogs. Seeing is seeing. No, not the fish, not the ant, not the elephant. Without the shape and form, what sees? No shape of elephant or ant or fish, what sees? Seeing sees only. So without understanding that now there is the reality which arises and experiences, what is there appearing? How can there be any moment to begin to understand firmly that not any moment of understanding the nature of that which sees or hears at all? That's why there is Citta Nupassana Satipatthana, one section.
And I think you're also asking about why one nama, not another, appears and is the object of understanding. Is that right?
Yeah, I concern more about the condition. What kind of condition? I'm thinking about the Yoniso Manasikara or Panya.
Yes, because it depends on the conditions, what appears. It depends on the accumulation, what understanding understands at this moment or another moment for one and not another. So it depends on the habit, the accumulation, the aramana paccaya we mentioned, yoniso manasikara, because that attends to the object that is experienced. So many different conditions to condition the object that appears right now. Completely unexpected, unpredictable. Visible object, sound, kindness, meanness. It depends on the accumulation, the habit of what is attended to, what object is contacted, what understanding understands. Even for the arahats, different objects of understanding at different times, different moments. Sariputta's accumulations are not the same as Mahamoggallana's.
No matter how much we talk about citta, the same as no matter how much we talk about manasikara, is there any understanding of the nature of citta or the nature of manasikara? But without any understanding of these two, no way, no condition for it to appear to be known, because no attention to the characteristic of citta right now. So we don't just use the term intention, but begin to understand the difference of the reality which attend to the object. See, just talk about attending. So we begin to get closer to the nature of the reality which attends to the object. Attention, please. What does it mean? Even there is attention with every moment of citta, but it's like citta now sees, we talk about citta hears, citta thinks, citta experience each moment. Without citta, there will be no world, nothing at all. It's the same as manasikara. We change from the word citta to the reality of manasikara, exactly the same. Before there can be a little more understanding of the characteristic of manasikara, which is different from the characteristic of citta. It takes time to hear again, to understand again. For example, attention, please. Who do not understand? It means that before that, it seems like no attention at all. But in truth, attention arises with each citta, and its function is attending to the nature, the character of that, until that characteristic appear as different ones. That's why no matter when we are together in this room, we talk about seeing, hearing again and again and again. And when we talk about manasikara, it's the same. It's not the citta which is the chief of experiencing. But you can know yourself. Sometimes you don't attend to what is there. For example, seeing right now. It's there all the time. No attention to it, to understand the nature of it. It's there all the time. No attention to understand. But at moment of seeing, there is attention already arising with each citta. That's why we learn about how subtlety or dhammas is. It is one word, like the behavior of citta. Now it behaves unknowingly, kusala or akusala. And that is kusala sila or akusala sila. It's there, but it does not show up until the deed has been done or the speech has been spoken. That's why all adhamas begin to have confidence. No one, because seeing arises and falls away instantly. The morning seeing, the afternoon seeing. Seeing is seeing, but not the same seeing. Different scenes and different conditions, different objects. See, learn little by little to let go the clinging to ignorance and self. And atta, begin to understand that even it's so light, people and things around, but it's so dark because no understanding what is there at all. There is citta, who knows? There are cetasikas, who know?
I would like to have a small question to Hun John, because the other day you said that the Buddha taught us about what is rain, and you also said that what is rain can directly be known. So may I just make a very little adjustment that what is rain is what can be directly known by the consciousness. Is that okay to say so? That's my question. I'm sorry.
Well, consciousness can know in different ways, but actually only consciousness with panya can directly know what is real.
Okay.
It's the panya that knows, not the consciousness. Not the citta, the panya that understands.
Yes, sometimes it is said that consciousness knows the object, but we prefer to say experiences the object. In terms of knowing, then that seems to suggest some level of understanding. So anyway, in terms of what is real, it is what can be directly known. And directly known means known with understanding.
Yes. How about a specific context when, for example, we ask people, is the seeing real? So it comes back to the question that what is the definition of real, and then we say the seeing is real because it can directly be known. I'm talking about when we try to explain the seeing, the moment of seeing to a beginner, someone that never heard Dhamma before. Just some explanation from the context of why I asked the question, the first questions.
But also, we can know that seeing is real in a sense because there is we know that visible object has been experienced because there's the appearance of people and things that have been seen. But that's an assumption about the reality rather than directly experiencing. I don't know if anyway, have I answered your question?
Okay, I thought it's the first answer. Just
to
clarify the meaning of the phrase that what is real is
what is real is something
known.
I'd like to add a little bit further. What is real is something that can be directly known by its characteristic.
May I ask a little bit because we always concerned about what is real and what is not real. But in the ultimate sense, there's only what is real and what are the concepts only. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing that we try to explain to some beginners that take interest in the Dhamma. So what is real is really, important point. In every
Actually, seeing is real no matter whether one's ever heard the Buddha's teachings or not, no matter whether there's any understanding or not. It's a Dhamma, that means it's real, it's conditioned, it arises and falls away, no matter it's understood or not. But if it's not real, then it cannot ever be understood. But actually, seeing the reality is real, regardless of the understanding. But it has a characteristic. It can be understood. It can be directly understood.
Yes. Then that person might argue that so to me the table is also as real as the seeing, because everyone we know there's a table. So I that's a point, a technical point that I just kept thinking about that. But anyway,
a table cannot be Paramatta Dhamma because it is just an idea. So that's why without understanding, it can never be known what is real and what is not real. So if there's no understanding, it seems a table is touched, a table is seen. But when there is understanding, it becomes apparent only hardness is touched. Hardness is real. A table is only thought about.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Xin đợi một chút, A Chan có muốn nói thêm ạ? Đợi một chút ạ. Please, A Chan.
You think that a table is real?
No, I try to explain to some beginner that's why seeing is real, but not the table. Yes. I don't think that the table is real now. Yes.
Thưa A Chan, trong vi diệu pháp thì nói đến ba cái biết, tức là tưởng chi, thức chi và tuệ chi. Như vậy cái tưởng chi tức là sự nhớ biết, và còn cái thức chi đó thì xin A Chan mấy chú Chôn cho biết là cái thức chi đó có phải là 6 thức hay không. Còn tuệ chi thì nó là tâm sở trí tuệ, thì nó rất là rõ rồi.
So in the comment in the Abhidhamma, actually I think it's from the Visuddhimagga, it mentioned about 3 kinds of knowing. The knowing by sanya, knowing by panya, and knowing by vijnana. So I know that knowing by panya is the understanding, and knowing by sanya is marking and remembering. But knowing by vijnana, does that mean the 6 kinds of consciousness? Please help explain. Thank you.
As you say, sanya arises with every citta. It marks and remembers what is there. There may be the wrong name given to the flower because it's been wrongly remembered. We cannot say that yoniso ayoniso manasikara just depends on whether the correct name is given. Like we meet friends and we mix up the names all the time. But the yoniso ayoniso manasikara depends on the nature of citta. If it's kusala at that moment of speaking to the friend, it's yoniso manasikara. even if the wrong name is used. If it's akusala when speaking, then it's ayoniso manasikara, even if we use the right word. Vijnana is citta, so at a moment of seeing, seeing experiences the object, the visible object, clearly, just as it is. Hearing hears the sound just as it is. Tasting tastes the flavor just as it is. Bitter, sour, spicy, bland, just as it is. But sanya and vijnana, sanya and citta don't understand anything about the object experience. So seeing experiences the object clearly as it is, but only panya understands the reality. That's why if we say consciousness knows the object, it's only in the sense of experiencing it clearly as it is. Only panya understands, knows in this sense what the object is, understands visible object as a Dhamma that is experienced. So this is why it is the knowing of panya, the understanding of panya, that is so very precious. But that's a good example.
Is there seeing now? Can seeing remember?
Dạ no.
So seeing is vijnana. Experience the object, only experience what is there clearly. Different colors, different tastes, different sound. It's experienced by citta. It experiences the object clearer. That's why we understand this is different from that, this is not that, and so on. And at that moment, is there any memory or remember what is what is this, and what is this? Citta cannot remember. Citta just experience, so sanya marks and remember that as this, and now is that. So sanya marks and remember.
Yes, Ajahn.
So sanya is not citta. So at any moment citta arises, sanya marks and remember the object, while citta just experience the nature of that clearly. And is that panya now? See, so panya is not seeing, it's not sanya, but it is the reality which understands the truth of what is there as it is. So among all kinds of realities which arise and fall away, what is the best?
Panya. Yeah.
Panya. Without citta, nothing can appear, no world at all, because citta sees, citta hears what is there in this world. Citta is that which knows. But citta cannot understand the truth. And panya begins to understand the truth of what is there right now. Little by little, so very little by little, but it's so very precious because it can understand the nature of what is there right now. Sanya is not vijnana. Who knows? Panya knows. From considering, hearing, but not from direct realizing the nature of what is there as it is. Many levels of panya. When there's no panya, life goes on. birth to death, and seeing, hearing again, each life, no matter where, this world or other world, there must be that which appears through seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, on and on, with the idea of I. No understanding at all that what is taken for I is not there anymore, completely gone. That's why without understanding, there has to be wrong understanding and clinging, being attached so great, so much about the idea of self. Anytime in life, I see, I like, I hate, and so on. But Panya can attain the truth and let go ignorance, attachment, and wrong understanding to the degree that Buddha taught and developed his right understanding until he became enlightened. No more ignorance, attachment, no condition for that which has eradicated to arise again. So when there's the understanding of the truth, it cannot be taken for I at all. Panya has to develop from the beginning, very beginning, hearing, considering, developing, directly understanding the truth of this moment or any moment by conditions, no choice, until wrong understanding has been completely, absolutely, ultimately, never to arise again. Not I who see, not I who hear, not I who likes, but the other conditions for attachment of sensuous object can condition. Even the fake diamond is object of attachment as the real diamond. But understanding what is fake and what is real, until no more arising of citta, which means no more arising of cetasikas and rupa conditioned by karma and citta anymore. Right now, the reality which sees and hears from moment to moment, nothing can stop it because there are conditions for its arising, ignorance and attachment. As long as it's still there, the samsara has to arise and fall away. Kilesa, condition karma, karma condition vipaka, endlessly. But panya, so miraculous, because when it's developed to the highest degree, it can eradicate conditions for what is now arising, never to arise again, to the moment of parinibbana, not just kilesa nibbana, but also all kinds of, all five khandhas, anything cannot arise again. The miracle of Panya. So among all other realities, Panya is the best, the most precious reality. And now, be truthful. It's just the beginning to understand the truth until it's so firm.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Ajahn Chun Sarah. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.